Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Kaibab Forest. We've had a good night last night. It's nice and cool. It's 41 degrees when I got up this morning in the bus. Right now the sun's shining and light clouds in the sky, but I can tell you one thing. I've been sitting out here drinking my coffee this morning and looking up in the sky, and this must be the flying zone for the airlines. It's nothing but this X's this way, that way of the jets going over, and they're like every 10 minutes there's one or two or three come by, and we must be, like I said, in the flight pattern. Probably LA is probably that way, so that's probably a good reason why. But man, there have been a lot of planes way up here. I do know the Grand Canyon airport is only a few miles this way, and I've had a couple of the small sightseeing planes come over, but that's pretty cool, and a couple of helicopters come through. So but yeah, we're going to enjoy this day. Right now we're going to work on the windshield on this bus. And this time, I got the kit right here. There's everything you need for the windshield to get it repaired. This is my second go around. The other one, yeah, let me just say this. This time I read the instructions. So, uh, yeah, it's not that hard, but just when you miss one point, it messes everything up. So, uh, this is my second round on this little round, this jaunt to see if I can get my windshield crack fixed. So let's go over here and see if I can get the stuff sticking where it's supposed to. And right up there is, where's the chip at? Right there. Whoops. Right there is what I'm looking at. That's the one I need to work on. So let me get myself set up and we'll get this thing going here. See if we can get it stuck on there. First thing I need to do is clean it. So this little kit comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with a straight pin, and that's used to go in that little hole and kind of chip it out. And then you got your alcohol wipe to clean off the glass. If we can focus in on that somewhere. And then it's got a razor blade. Razor blades for help cleaning it off too. So first part is to get it kind of cleaned out. And I got the hood open because it's just easier to get to. So we take this little needle, and every chip has got a little bit of hole in it. So you just kind of go in there and you got to work the loose stuff off of the hole in the glass. And I'm just doing this for preventative because I think I have, when I signed up my new insurance here in Arizona, I got full coverage, glass coverage. So I think I've got the full replacement, which also will replace the windshield if I need it, and I think it covers a few of the little dinghies. So let's clean the alcohol pad. And see what we can do. All right, there we go. The next step is got to find the instructions, but I think I'm going to put this little doodad here on. This is a kind of isolates the glue part into that little hole right there. So you got to line this up with the hole in the glass, kind of like this, and then push that on there. Make sure there's no air bubbles in it, and then that's part of it. Now the next step is you got to put this little suction cup with the glue in it that goes in here. So you got to peel those greens, got to come off. And like I said, this is just the easy version. It's only like a $12, $13 kit, but there we go. Get the green off. And then you line up the hole with that hole in the tab. Kind of like that. And that's the basics of it at this point. So we'll check on here in just a second. The next thing we do is this little glue, this resin, goes in this hole. Stick it in there and squeeze it in. Don't want to squeeze all of it in there because you got to use a little bit for later. So put a lot of it in there. Then this is your suction syringe. So you put this syringe and put it on the hole and then pull it up until it snaps. It's got a little locking ring inside that you twist and then you can pull it. So this is where I messed up last time. I wasn't paying attention. I just, and it didn't work. So stick this in the hole, get it in the good and tight, and then we're going to pull this locking ring out to the second clip. There. And that's it. We let that sit for 10 minutes. And it's been 10 minutes. Boy, time flies by fast, doesn't it? Now the next step is take this out and let air into the system. And then put it back on. And then push this down to the next notch. Like that. And that takes 20 minutes. So we'll catch you up in kind of like, and it's been 20 minutes. Next thing we do is we just take this off. So we can actually just pull the syringe out. And then we drop everything on the ground. But then we take this cup off. So basically take a razor blade and scrape it off. Be careful not to get into your hands. Whoops. I hope that went in there. We got a lot of, yep. Yep, just scrape it off. Kind of like that. Clean this up a bit. And then the last thing we do is take our little silicone thing there. We make a little bit of a bead across the hole. And then we stick on this called a curing strip. And I don't know what it does, but it's just a little piece of plastic that goes on here. And then take our razor blade again, and we kind of make sure there's no air holes in it. And then let that sit. I don't know if it's going to do any good, but there it is, another 20 minutes. And while we wait for the windshield to cure, 15 minutes to an hour, depending on the temperature, we'll leave it on for a while. It's the last thing to do. This is our end of our driveway. It's got a pretty good dip there, but you can tell when the water sits there, it gets a little bit muddy. Pretty dry right now, but there's another way in too, so this is not the only way to get in and out. But here's the road that we're on. Like I said, pretty good road, but I don't know if you can see it or not, but look down the thing, you can see the washboards. So you got to go real slow and it'll shake you to death. But we're gonna walk around. A lot of this area has been cleaned up, and forest came in here and cut a lot of it back. But wow, these are, I didn't realize they're walking on. These are really big washboards. But beautiful area. I mentioned pretty quiet. We're probably about a mile off the main highway, one that goes to Grand Canyon where all the traffic's at. We're going to keep on walking. I'm going to show you the distance between campsites. This is the next campsite. And can you see the bus? Way down there. So these are really spread out. So you can come out here and pretty much not even see your neighbor. But this is the big campsite too. They're all really decent sized campsites. There are some smaller ones, but this one is used a lot for, I think, deer and elk hunters come up here and utilize this area. But the smell of pines is intoxicating. Oh, man, it smells so good. I miss those pine smells over in the desert. The desert has a certain smell, but the pines, they've got a certain smell too, and a sound when the wind blows. And here we are back from our little stroll at our campsite underneath a little tree over here. Getting a little shade. The sun's kind of warm when you're out in it, but not bad. Not like down in the Quartzsite where you sit out there and you just cook. But this is peaceful and quiet. And as I mentioned, this is a lot of deer and elk hunting area. There is, we came across 2 deer hides and a few bones and a few deer legs laying out there. So no big deal. I guess there's not many predators around here, or those things probably would be carried off, or at least disposed of. I went and took the sealing strip off the windshield. Don't know if it made any difference. Maybe just keep it from cracking a little bit more. But I repaired that same spot about a year and a half ago when I picked up a rock in Kansas coming through. And I did a repair in the, where was it? Dodge City, Kansas, in the Walmart. So it held pretty good for a good year and a half. So, but maybe we'll just keep it. We may have to get I'm going to get a different mount and move the phone so while we're driving, we won't have that chip in front of the camera. So of all places, the only chip I get in the windshield is right in front of the camera lens. So isn't that how it goes? But we're going to sit out here and rest. I'm tell you what, sitting out here and the smell of the pine coming through, it smelled like you just freshly cleaned your house. It smelled like, it does, so fresh and clean. It's just, oh, just nice. And you can hear the occasional planes flying over, so no big deal. You get used to it. They're sightseers. But this is, like I said, this is all our campsite through here. And it goes way out to the road, which is way over there. So this is a big, group area too. But pretty nice. And it's the next morning. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. No breeze. We're going to sit down here in the shade of these little trees. Bus is back behind the camera. And we'll end the video here shortly, but I'm going to sit here and smell the aroma of the pines and the sound of the wind, slight wind going through the pine needles gives it that swoosh sound. I'll be reading some book, Roughing It by Mark Twain. Thank you, Billy Ray, for sending that. I'll be petting my dog. I'm going to be drinking my coffee. And we're just going to take the day 1 minute at a time and enjoy the quiet, peace and quiet. Time to read. Let me get set up here a second. Now I'll read and I'll pet. There we go.